Okay, so today I'm just gonna review the worst Sonic game of all time, Sonic 06. Sonic 06. Okay, so basically this game is, Sonic Adventure 3. Basically Sonic Adventure 1 ripoff, okay? Sonic Adventure 1 / Sonic Adventure 2 ripoff. The gameplay formula is like Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2's gameplay formula. It has the adventure fields, it has, it has the chores, and basically this game is Sonic Adventure 3, without actually being called Sonic Adventure 3, okay? And it has this new character named Silver, and that's supposed to be like the twist in this game. I mean, seriously, Sega, what the heck? I mean, seriously, what the heck? I mean, he's like from the ruined future, and I'll just discuss that later, alright? And this game, it's a mistake, and it's an embarrassment to the Sonic franchise, and I'm just going to explain why in this review, okay? So let's get on with the most important aspect, creativity. So, okay, basically this game rips off of various games, or rips off of Sonic Adventure with, like there are some sections that are supposed to be like, homages to Sonic Adventures. Like, it rips off the aspect where, like, basically Solaris, is basically a ripoff of Chaos, alright? And, let's see, there also, Wave Ocean is a ripoff of Emerald Coast. They even added the whales. We know what you're ripping off of, Sega. You don't have to act like it's not a ripoff of anything, because it is! Seriously, Sega, get original. And the snowboarding section and, White Acropolis is basically a ripoff of Ice Cap. And this game is not creative. And they apparently adding Elise in the game, who's basically a ripoff of Madonna, the scrapped character from Sonic 1. Seriously, Sega! Don't you think Madonna was left out of Sonic 1 for a reason? And then Shadow's gameplay is a Grand Theft Auto ripoff because you drive these mobiles, and seriously, Sega, haven't you learned not to rip off of, Grand Theft Auto from Shadow the Hedgehog, which is pretty much like the third worst Sonic game of all time, okay? And then Silver's gameplay, the time travel aspect, basically rips off of Back to the Future, where he, has to go back and change the past. And, seriously, what the heck, Sega? And then, and his gameplay, it rips off of Mario's gameplay, because it's slow-paced. Seriously, Sonic games are about speedy platforming, not just, slow-paced platforming. And Mario's, 3D gameplay is slow-paced, but at least the gameplay for Mario is actually good. It's perfect, unlike this game's gameplay. Alright? And okay, now let's get on to the gameplay. Alright, let's start it off. The depth. Okay, so apparently, they try to add all these, attributes to make the game have depth. Like, let's start it off. The adventure fields. The adventure fields are a bore. They just make me wanna, explode with rage because I don't even know what to do. And, they try to rip off of Sonic Adventure's Station Square, but it's way worse because the Station Square from Sonic Adventure 1 was actually fun. This game tries to be as good as Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, but it failed. Alright, and now let's get on to continuing depth. Okay, so, and then, by adding multiple playable characters, that's supposed to add depth too. Guess what? It doesn't, because they all have different play styles. Sonic's gameplay is basically a super glitched up version of Sonic Adventure / Sonic Adventure 2 gameplay. Shadow's gameplay is basically a Grand Theft Auto ripoff, and Silver's gameplay is basically like one of those bad Mario clones. Alright, and then the human girlfriend aspect is supposed to add depth. Well, it doesn't by, like, you know, making levels where you have to, you know, use Elise to get past, you know, certain obstacles. Well, guess what? We don't want a human girlfriend! What the heck, Sega? That's what Amy's there for, so Sonic can date her. And not some, you know, Princess Peach ripoff. She's not even a good Princess Peach ripoff. And, I mean, they try to, you know, incorporate, you know, the idea for a human girlfriend from Sonic 1 into this game. Well, guess what? They failed. And Madonna was left out of Sonic 1 for a reason. Sega, get your facts right. Okay, in this game, it just lacks depth, alright? It's an embarrassment to the Sonic franchise. Now for the controls. Oh my goodness! Oh wow, so you just take the remote, you know, and, you know, you try to control Sonic, but the glitches always mess you up. This game is a glitchy mess, especially for Sonic's gameplay. I'm always falling through walls. I'm always, just doing these weird movements. You know, the animations always glitch up, and the glitches just make this game unplayable. And then that goes for all characters. The glitches just mess you up, and Sonic's gameplay would be good if it wasn't slower. You know, this is the slowest Sonic's been in any game, if you don't count the spin-off titles. And Silver's gameplay is just a failure, trying to rip off of Mario's gameplay, trying to appeal to the Mario fans. Well, they failed at that. This gameplay is a bore, it's terribly designed, and Shadow's gameplay is a Grand Theft Auto ripoff, trying to appeal to, you know, dark gamers, you know, mature gamers, but they failed! The controls are just a mess, possibly one of the worst things about this game. Now for the level design. Oh my goodness! Oh wow, Sega wasn't even, you know, trying to make the level design good, alright? Okay, you see the level design for Sonic, it's basically just, you know, occasional platforming sections, some play the game for you sections, and then these enemies blocking your path, and then they call it a platformer. Wow, Sega! Wow, you really went all out with this! And that's not even the worst part of Sonic's gameplay. The worst parts of Sonic gameplay were the speed up sections where, you know, you have to control Sonic through super fast sections. Those are unbearable. I can't even bear them. I just wanna break my TV whenever I play those sections. In Shadow, this level design, just a Grand Theft Auto ripoff, you know, with all these enemies blocking your path. You know, you have to drive vehicles like a Grand Theft Auto game. And Silver's level design, I mean, you can hardly even control him. He's hard to control, and the gameplay is trying to rip off of Mario 64, and you basically have to pick up objects and throw them, kind of like you would in Super Mario Bros. 2. And, alright, level design is just lazy, it's careless, and the glitches don't make it any better. Is it genre-defying? Far from it! This game is not genre-defying at all. This game, it deserves to be in the garbage. In a garbage on fire. Alright. This game is an embarrassment to the Sonic franchise. This is the game where Sega truly went downhill with the Sonic games. Alright, not genre-defying at all, especially for a platformer. This game is just a rushed mess. And it isn't even worthy of being a Sonic title, not worthy of being a 15th anniversary game. Now for the multiplayer. Oh wow, Sega thinks by adding multiplayer in the game, it'll convince them to, play with a friend. Well, I'm not going to play the worst Sonic game of all time with a friend. Nice try, Sega. Playing through this mess with a friend isn't going to make it any better. Now for the graphics. Okay, so this game's supposed to make Sonic look good in HD. Well, he looks worse than he ever has before. I mean, all the characters just look terribly animated. They try to make them all look dark and cool, trying to appeal to these, mature gamers. They failed, and the graphics, honestly, this looks like a game that could have been done on the Sega Dreamcast. I mean, you can tell that they rushed through this game with the graphics. For Sonic's first step into HD, this is not a good start. Okay? Sonic Unleashed did better than this, even though that game was terrible. Not nearly as bad as this mess. And, oh yeah, back to the multiplayer aspect. If you people think the multiplayer in that game is fun, if you really want a game with multiplayer, good multiplayer, then here's your game, not this! Alright, good job, Mario. Bad job, Sonic. Alright, now for the story plot. Oh my goodness! Okay, so they rip off the Sonic Adventure 1 story plot by bringing back, a chaos ripoff, and apparently, he's supposed to, be like some kind of, god or whatever. What the heck? And, and Elise, like, 10 years ago, her stupid father, who's ugly, by the way, deserved to die. He let Elise, absorb Solaris so that it could be trapped within her, and if she cries, it'll be released. And, I mean, seriously, what the heck? And Silver, he's from the ruined future, and apparently, this shadow ripoff named Nephilis, he tells Silver to go back in time and kill Sonic, basically ripping off of Back to the Future, or Back to the Future 2, and, what the heck? Okay, this game, also it adds, the human girlfriend aspect. Oh my goodness, that's the worst idea Sega's ever come up with. Why did they incorporate into this game? I mean, this story plot is just unbearable. They should have brought back, the classic plot and expanded upon it, kind of like what they did in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I mean, they could have been, creative by expanding upon, ideas from past Sonic games, except, adding tons of new ideas. Kind of like Sonic Colors, in a way. Like, they could have made a creative type game with a creative twist like Sonic Colors was, but they didn't. They gave us this mess instead. Okay, now for the character design. Oh my goodness, this is the worst Sonic game! This is the worst Sonic has looked in any game. The worst looking Sonic game ever. Okay? Sonic, I mean, he's ugly, and the cutscenes, I mean, it's just poorly animated. They look too dark, and Sonic, he just looks like some ugly Englishman. I mean, look at him. And, I mean, what was Sega thinking? I mean, this looks much better. Alright? And, oh, let's see here. You see, the newer design for modern Sonic right here, that looks much better than this mess. Worst Sonic has ever looked. That goes for all characters too, including Eggman. Eggman got this redesign that made him look like, it just made him look horrible, okay? Made him look like a giant pile of poop, alright? Giant pile of diarrhea. He looks horrible! And now for the difficulty. Okay, this game is too hard. The glitches make it too hard. And you hardly know what to do in the, the adventure fields. And this game is so difficult. Just makes me want to blow up. I don't even want to bother with this game. It's difficulty. And the replay value, what's there to replay about the worst Sonic game of all time? I don't want to replay the worst Sonic game of all time. I mean, seriously, Sega, what the heck were you thinking? Okay, and this game, now for the music. Okay, the music is just too dark. It's all like, do, 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 do. Wow, Sega, trying to appeal to, mature gamers. Well, you failed, Sega. That's why Mario was doing better. Okay? While Sonic 06 was out, that Sonic game, worst Sonic game of all time. Mario had New Super Mario Bros. Out, that homage to the 2D platforming masterpieces from the 80s and 90s. And, seriously, would you rather play New Super Mario Brothers, like a New Super Mario Bros. Game like this, an actually good game that, plays like the classic platforming Mario masterpieces, or would you rather play this? Tell me, would you rather play that? That's what I thought. This game, don't even bother with it. This game, it's horrible. What was Sega thinking? I don't even, want to bother with this game. And, what was Sega thinking? Wow, Sega. Okay, and this game, it just deserves to die. Alright, and all you people who think this game is a good Sonic game, you need to get out of the fan base! And just ask for a game, classic Sonic gameplay in 3D. Don't ask for Sonic Adventure 3. Don't get me wrong, Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2 were okay games, but Sonic 06 was basically Sonic Adventure 3. All the aspects you fans wanted Sega to include in this game were basically, elements you would expect from a Sonic Adventure sequel. And ask for classic Sonic in 3D. That's what's best for Sonic. And seriously, if you guys disagree with my opinions on this game, you need to get out of the